Okay, so right now I am just cooking some pinto beans. So this is probably going close to an hour, and it's still burning. Yeah, it's just barely bubbling. So the reason why you want the hybrid stove is the oil, because you can fold the wick and control the size of the wick, it's easier to control how big it'll burn, and it's harder to get it to burn as big. So the one bad thing is you'll get oil smoke residue on your pot. This is vegetable oil. It doesn't smell bad. But yeah, you just put the wick in like that. I put a couple wicks in. You put one in if it's not big enough. And when you light it, you can actually let the match burn down halfway and then put it in oil. And then just hold it there, and the oil will actually start to wick up onto the match, and that'll give you plenty of time to light the wick. Or you can coat the end you're holding of the match in oil, which helps the match burn longer. But yeah, so the pinto beans are looking pretty good. Yeah, they're tasty. So I heated them and soaked them before, but this was entirely on here. So this is the oil you use for low heat setting or long term. As you can see, it's not putting off a ton of smoke. This would be good for heating small spaces. You do want some ventilation there, but then you can use alcohol as a fuel, and that will burn faster. Let's see if you can see in there. So yeah, so this stove design, all I did is you cut 3 grooves, and then you have these extra air intakes, and it works really well. I'm gonna add this other wick. So you can see how that all works. Your hands are actually really good heat reflectors for starting this. So yeah, then the other wick picks up and it's able to burn. And now that's getting real big. So we put the stove on top, and then that's what's going on there. Like, if the oil doesn't burn completely cleanly, it will produce a little bit of smoke, but honestly, it's not all that bad. And it looks like I am charring this clipboard I'm using as a base, but the clipboard came from the dollar store. So let's look at the charring, the amount of charring that occurred. Yeah, that's all the charring that occurred. It's a little bit warm. Oh, it's really warm where it was. But you should probably use a stick or put on gloves to do this, but this works too. Okay, and you will get a ton of oil soot on the pot, so you'll want to clean that very well. And you can look at ways to clean that. Keep an eye on it, and make sure you don't ever get water in there, because water boils. It expands 900 times when it boils. So water and oil don't mix. So you have a potential to create very big fireballs if you mix the water and the oil. So yeah, the oil For this stove, the oil setting is great for low heat because you can control the heat with your wick. But for a high heat, for heating stuff out quickly, use alcohol. I would recommend using alcohol because it's just a little more volatile and it burns easily. You don't need a wick or anything. And yeah, the way I actually use alcohol in this is it'll burn. If you lift the pot off a little bit, it'll burn better because just like half an inch or so. And it'll heat up faster. So yeah, you can, for something like beans, what you do is you heat it up and then let it soak, and then you have to cook it for a long time. And like I've said, this has been going for about an hour or so, and there was like only probably a little more than a 1/4 inch of oil in the bottom of that, and that's just a normal size can. But yeah, since the beans were already warm, it had an easier time heating it up to boil. And we got a few bubbles going again. Okay, thanks for watching. Hopefully that was helpful.